What is going on, guys? Brad here from Pickdawgz.com, and I got a pick in this Wake Forest versus Texas A&M college basketball game going down on Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024. Here at Pickdawgz, we got the most free pick videos out of anyone, so click that subscribe button, drop a like. It helps us out a lot. If you guys are looking for the picks like the best, the picks like the most, the picks that I'm betting myself personally, go to Pickdawgz.com, click the premium pick section, or click the link in the description of this video. You will find all my plays there. Alrighty, man. Hope everyone's doing well, and we got a nice little SEC, ACC battle going down between Wake Forest and Texas A&M. This game will be played in College Station, so Texas A&M will be the home team. And, I mean, both these teams have looked solid. We can start off with Wake Forest, 7-2 record, but 2-7 ATS. This team just hasn't been able to cover spreads to save their lives so far this season. They're averaging 69.4 points per game, giving up 65.6 points per game. Their leading scorer is Hunter Salas, averaging 16.8 points per game. And that's the thing with this Wake Forest team. It's been a bunch of low-scoring games. I mean, the under is 7-2 so far this season for them. They've been more focused on the defensive side of the ball. They don't play at a fast pace. They slow things down. And, you know, that's worked for them in a few spots this season, but it's also hurt them in other spots. You know, they played Florida just a few days ago. You know, they just couldn't keep up with Florida's scoring. They lost that game 75-58. When they played Xavier earlier this season, same exact situation. They lost that game 75-60. They're just not able to put enough points on the board to keep up with some of these better teams. In their last game, they did take a nice little win against Minnesota, but Minnesota plays that same style of basketball where they don't score as much. They like to play at a slow pace as well. So that's why Wake Forest was able to have success in that game. And that's another reason why Wake Forest can't cover these spreads, is because they just don't score enough. Even in the games where they were favored by 24 against Detroit, they only won that one by 10. They played Western Carolina. They were favored by 23 points in that game. They only won by 13 because, like I said, they just aren't able to score that many points. So that's been the issue with Wake Forest this season. Don't get me wrong, they still have a nice little record. And look, they beat Michigan earlier this season. I'm not really too high on that Michigan team, but that's one of their nice notable wins. But other than that, I see this team struggling against some of the better teams that have more high-powered offenses, just because they can't keep up. And it's going to be a solid challenge against this Texas A&M team, because I touted Texas A&M pretty highly this season. You know, I like how they finished the season off last season. And look, they've been on a tough stretch of games over their last three. They're coming into this one with a 5-2 record, 3-1 ATS, averaging 77.8 points per game, giving up 67.3 points per game. And Wade Taylor is their leading scorer, averaging 15.9 points per game. In their last three games, they played Rutgers, Creighton, and Oregon. And look, man, I thought they looked pretty damn good in those games. They beat Rutgers outright. They didn't cover the 5.5-point spread, but then they beat Creighton. And then they lost to Oregon by 10. But let me tell you what, that Oregon team is very solid. And then we can't forget that they lost the first game of the season to UCF. But in between that, they picked up a nice win against Ohio State. And then their other wins are against some easier opponents that we don't really need to talk about. So for this pick, man, I just can't trust. I can't trust Wake Forest at this moment. Like I said, 2-7 ATS. They struggle to score the ball. I think Texas A&M is just going to be a bit too big, too athletic, and I think that home court advantage is going to play a role as well. Texas A&M's averaging 77.8 points per game. We saw them put up 81 against Rutgers, 77 against Creighton, even 70 against Oregon. So I think the issue is going to remain the same for Wake Forest, is when they play these good teams, they're not going to be able to keep up on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm going to take Texas A&M here. I'm going to lay the points. I appreciate you guys watching this. Click that subscribe button, drop a like, drop in the comments who you're taking in this one. And if you guys are looking for the picks like the best, the picks like the most, the picks that I'm betting myself personally, go to Pickdawgz.com, click the premium pick section, or click the link in the description of this video. You'll find all my plays there. I'll catch you on the next one.